want to say this is my very last show of the semester, and I'm kind of sad. But it was a good semester, though. For the very last show, I wanted to have like a ladies theme, women who I know who are doing something with themselves, who are positive and out there just trying to make it. So I have two special ladies here. I have Kylie.
Hello.
And Jaylon.
Hi, everyone.
So just kind of introduce yourselves a little bit.
Well, my name is Jaylon. She stated. I don't know what to say. I'm from Pittsburgh. I graduated from Clarion in 2014, and I'm currently a grad student at Duquesne. What do you really want to know? It's just, I don't know. This bio stuff is kind of like.
It's fine. You know, whatever you want to talk about.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like Miss America or something. I have to impress you guys. That's about ask questions and no answer. I guess.
Cool. That's fine.
I'm Kylie. I am 25 years old. I graduated from Cornell University in 2014 with my bachelor's in nursing.
Ooh, girl.
It's tough. And I'm getting my master's now in nursing. I'll be done in December, praise God.
Yes. That's amazing.
I'm currently a travel nurse. Just got back from Dallas on Friday. Loved it.
That's what's up.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. But I'm a travel nurse and I'm an author. So excited about that, and just got a lot of little projects. So
that's good. So I wanted to bring you both on today because you said you're an author, and Jaylon, you have a clothing line coming out. Now, I don't want to say it wrong, so please tell me, how do you say the name of your clothing line?
It is Bulity.
Bulity. I mean, okay, Bulity. Okay, because I would see it. I'm like, is it utility?
Yeah, a lot of people like duality.
That's what
I'm like,
I don't want to say it wrong. Bulity.
Bulity.
So, Jaylon, where did you come with the name Bulity?
All right, so this started back in 2013. I was at school, and I've always been into like fashion, of course, and I felt like I wanted to do something that kind of target people who were like me, basically. Growing up, I dealt with a lot of self-esteem issues just because it was displayed on the media, what society considers beautiful, and things that, just things that I've dealt with growing up. So, I wanted to create something that other people can relate to, and, just, let them know that this is who we are. The world's different. If everyone looked the same, it will be a boring world, basically.
Right, that's true.
With Bulity, I want to consider beauty. I had a list of things like, okay, what do I want to name it? What do I name it? And I was like, I want to just come up with something that's kind of combined. So I wanted to do beauty, and I'm like, everyone who is themselves and who's different, that's really the reality of beauty. All these people you see on TV, like all the stars and celebrities, they're not happy with themselves. All this work they're getting done. So it's like, why? Like now I look at it like there's people who are paying to look like me. Like you have to pay to look like me now. Like that's awesome. Whatever. And so I just want like people to know like the reality of beauty is people who are happy and accept themselves for who they are, what God gave them, everything like that. And I just think that's what's so beautiful about it, because I can look at someone like, oh my God, like something about her was just like amazing. Like you don't see that too often. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like when people look the same, it's just like I'm over it. I don't like when people look the same. It's just like, whatever. So that's just basically what came out. I just wanted to do Bulity, the reality of beauty combined in one. That's how it all started.
I like that. I really, really like that. That's really. So are you working this by yourself? Is it just you? You got a team behind you?
Lord, I wish I had a team. Doing this by myself is so overwhelming. But I want it to be more. It's T-shirts. And I want it to be much more than that. So I'm hoping to build it, make it a campaign, do whatever I need to do. I'm currently working on an event that I want to have towards the end of the summer. It's going to be like a Bulity brunch. It's going to be a women empowerment event. Wow. And I want to have like, different sessions and like kind of like a conference workshop thing, but it's going to be like bring women together. I want to have like small business vendors come and things like that. So it's intact. I'm working on it. It's overwhelming, but you just know like you get that feeling like you want to do something. Like I sleep and I think about it while I'm sleeping. I'm like, I'm so excited for this event to do it, so I have to do it. When you have that feeling, it's like I got to make this happen.
Yeah, you gotta have it right.
So I'm working on just having that just being much more than just T-shirts, because T-shirts that can just die down anytime.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, and you sometimes run out of ideas. But I just wanted to be much more. I actually got invited to speak at a university to their women's group about, self-esteem and beauty and just the journey of creating beauty. So I want to eventually just take that and travel to different cities, different universities, create more events like that, just so, because it's not just a local issue. This happens all over the world. So it's like I want to, take that and run with it and create much more than just t-shirts.
Okay, that's good.
Now, do you are you doing any designs like art, or are you just like a visionary for like your clothing?
You know what? And it's just been just visionary, like with clothing. But I'm not opposed to anything. Like, I want beauty to be whatever it can be. Like, I want to, if someone paints a picture, or if I can create a picture and whatever the represented, let that happen. I'm not opposed to anything, but I want it to be more than that. Like t-shirt, like, I'll create a logo. But when I first started, I try to create like different collections, and like shatter, like I want to have like a shatter mirror type thing, or like a magazine type of thing, just like things that kind of relate to beauty and everything. That I want to have like different pictures and visuals of it, but it's kind of hard to display that on shirts and stuff like that. So if I can like somehow put an event together, it could be photo shoots, it can be like paintings and things like that. I'm willing to do that because there's a story that can be told in every little thing you do. So.
Well, good luck with that.
Thanks.
Well, I had, cause I'm one of those guys that's like, I like, fashion a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Do you ever think you'll do something towards like men's fashion?
I actually did have something for men. It's actually harder to target men.
You think?
Well, not necessarily target them. I feel like with me, since I am a woman, I know what a woman goes through. But I did start something with men's. And I'm working on building a team, even like if I gain men so they can help me, because I have one for men called Reality.
Oh.
And Reality basically, it goes against statistics, like not being a statistic, people who are working like the road to reality, like, grinding, doing what they have to do, going against what the media says, like the stereotypes, like, oh, he can't do this, or he's not this, or, things like that. So this one just basically goes towards men who are trying to create the reality. Like, I'm working towards this. I'm doing this so that I can become this because they said I can't do it. So you know what I mean? So like, I definitely have a men's shirt. I'm working on. I've got some feedback on it, but it's kind of like I also want to have an event for them as well. But like I said, it's harder to try to find guys to actually come to events that's like an empowerment event. You know what I mean? Women are all for it, like, but like for men, it just seems like it got to be like a, I don't know, like, how would men feel coming to a room just full of men, like a men empowerment thing, you know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of harder. I'm trying. I'm definitely working on it, but me being a woman, I need to have a male perspective as well, right? Because I don't know everything they go through. But I do, trust me, I'm on it. Like, there are shirts out there for you guys.
That's good. That's good. And Kylie, you came out with a book, was it last year?
It was 2014.
2014, okay.
It was November 2014.
Okay, so you do inspire me to write a book. Let me just tell you, I've always wanted to write a book, but never really knew how to start. I think that's the hardest part, is starting. So how did you start? How did you sit down and say, all right, I'm going to write a book. This is what I'm going to do. How did your process go?
So I knew years ago, and that's why I encourage everybody to just write any ideas you get down, because even though if you don't act on them immediately, it's going to come back up. So I had the idea years ago. It's to the point where I wrote out my table of contents years ago. And then, I don't know if y'all know Just Mike on Instagram, but he's a poet, and he ended up making a publishing company. And he was like, yeah, whoever want to, write their book, like, I'm publishing people. And so I contacted him. This was probably March of 2014. And July, he flew down to Pittsburgh. We talked about it, and I wrote it. I had just finished nursing school. It took me probably 3 months to write the book, and I only did like an hour a day for like it wasn't a lot. And people always think, like you say, like it's so hard, but if you have a story, it's not hard. Like everybody has a story, but my story was very complex. And so it was very complex, so it was easy. I had so much content and so many things to write about. So I wrote about it. I was done probably in July or August, and he finally got everything together by like September. And then November he sent the books to mouth, and I've been selling since. I sold over 170 books.
That's what's up.
And it's thank you. And people think like, you know, like I look at everything, and whether or no matter how big or how small, it's success to me, you know, because on average, like before, I was selling a whole bunch of books when the book first came out. Now I'm selling on average like 5 a month, but it's still because I was like, how many books did I sell so far? And when I counted, it was over 170 and going on 200, and I'm just so blessed, like to be like, dang, like it's only been not even 2 full years, and like I came this far, but really it just started out with me wanting to tell my story. And it's funny because everything that's in God Set Me Up, that's the title of my book. Everything that's in there is literally not even half of my story. Long story short, I was adopted. The book God Set Me Up is about my adoption. It's about love and sex and stuff like that, and it's also about how God just changed my life completely.
Right.
People who know me be like, Callie, I can't believe that you act like this now. Because I wasn't never crazy or nothing, but I was a little bit, you know. But now
At her moments.
right.
How it is.
Right, but now I'm just so like, I just love God, and I just do everything for Him, and I'm living for Him right now. And just so many things have happened since God set me up. I met both of my biological parents as of February this year. So, and my dad just flew in. Shout out to Olis. So he just flew into Pittsburgh today. So everything has changed since then. So it's going to be, so people ask me questions and I'd be like, man, that's done now. Like, there's things in the book I can't even, it's so many different aspects to it. So part 2 is coming out this year. Don't have a date yet, but we're working on it.
It's gonna come. Right.
Yes. And so, yeah.
I think that's important what you said about like doing one, you know, tackling it one piece at a time. Like you said, you did like an hour a day. And I feel like that's encouraging me, because sometimes like we get so overwhelmed with like with everything else. You was in nursing school. I know that's
That is terrible.
I just feel like that's very encouraging for people to hear. You know?
Right.
Just to take one thing at a time and just go at it. You know what I mean?
Right, and master it, because there's probably like 5 other projects I want to do, and I'm like, Kals, you know what you had to do for God Set Me Up, just slow down. And I think people just see other people's success and be like, I want to do that, and they don't know, like, it takes time and patience. You just gotta just chill out, and it'll come to you.
It'll come to you.
Time.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, she's definitely like, I reached out to her. She's like, yeah, just do this, get this, because this helped me. And I'm like, oh, look, I had a story. And you get off my chest. Like, and I swear, every day, my story gets longer and longer. I'm like, everything just gets added on. And like she said, like, I'll try to do like a chapter, like, because it's based off of, like, individuals that I put in the books. Like, so it's like, I'll do like a chapter for each person. But it's just like,
yes. I know how you feel, because it's like, I want to write a book, okay, about everything that happened from my ages 19 until now. So it's like I want to put people in the book, not really like an exposing type thing, but it's like, should I use fake names or should I don't know.
fake names.
I'll tell you about that. My opinion, because see, my mom and everybody, like my biological mom, like everybody, we all got our story. I have really 5 parents, 2 foster parents, adopted mom, and a biological mom and dad. And even when I was in the book talking about like old boyfriends and stuff, I never used nobody's name. I never even was specific. I just got the point across without using anything, because you know what, like, number one, it's about me. I mean, I'm trying to set other people free too, but I'm not going to put the focus on you, but just out of respect. You know what I mean? And people knew who I was talking about. And yeah, they knew who they were, and it was nothing, because I didn't say nothing in a negative way. So just be conscious when you're writing that. When you're writing about the people, like, okay,
I'm really giving you
they're
money.
going to read this way.
I'm like, do I just create fake names for each character? Like, you know, like the best man type of thing. But I'm all like,
there's legal issues too, right?
We learned about that, J-Lo, in common law.
I'm not trying to go to jail for telling my story. Like,
I'm not trying to get involved in none of that. But
let me take notes. Don't put any names.
Oh my goodness. But okay, that sounds really good. We're gonna take a short short little music break, and we'll come back to some more. I want to hear more about your book. I want to hear more about your clothing line, J-Lauren, even though I feel we talked a lot, but when it comes to women, we just talk. You know what I mean?
Yes,
And yeah, we got a lot more coming up, so we'll be right back. Okay, everybody, we are back with our special guest of the evening, J-Lauren and Kylie. Thank you so much again for coming, ladies.
You're welcome.
So, J-Lauren, back to your clothing line. Back to your clothing line. So, where do you see it in about, let's start with 5 years. Where do you see your clothing line in 5 years?
I see it no longer as a clothing line. I see it as a brand.
That's what I was hoping to hear.
Yes,
So
okay.
That's the thing. Like, this is going to be a brand. Like, that's what I say. It starts as a t-shirt. Like I said, things die down. Like, I want it to be much more than that. I want it to be a brand. I want to travel with it. So like I said, that's why I want to go to different universities, and not even just universities. I want to go to different cities as well. Like, you know, I could speak to young women, teenagers, everything like that, because there's those young girls who suffer from this a lot.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So I want to be able to create events. Like, I want, like, if this brunch goes well in the city, then I want to do it in the summer. I want to take it to someone actually asked me to come to Harrisburg and do this event.
Okay.
So I want to go to different cities and create this event. I want it to be like a workshop type of thing.
Okay.
Like, okay, maybe twice a year we'll do it, or
Right.
whatever I can do, go to different cities. I know, I mean, it's all money and everything like that. I'm coming out of pocket for myself.
Yeah.
But I think once people see it, you know, they'll want to pay me to come talk to, you know, the people and everything like that. So
Right.
in 5 years, I see it expanding. I see it traveling. Like, I see it becoming a brand, like a campaign. It will no longer be just t-shirts.
Right.
So
That's good. I like that idea.
I was actually on your Instagram, you know, Carrie sent me your Instagram, and I seen that you said something about like how the, you know, thicker women are becoming more popular. Like, are you just doing it? Are you like just focusing it on the bigger women or thicker women, or is it just everybody?
well, Beauty, no. Beauty, that's, when I posted that post about thicker women, it was just like something just because I've been a thicker woman all my life, and it's just, I don't look at it just that. This is for everybody, literally. It could be, I've dealt with like my complexion, I've dealt with my shape, I've dealt with, you know, just my ethnicity, like being a, you know, African American woman. Like, it's targeted toward everyone. Long hair, short hair, glasses, freckles. It goes towards everybody, you know, skinny, thick. Like, it's just, I want to target everybody when I say reality of beauty. But it's like with me, like, I focus on like myself mainly just for myself.
Right.
Because I suffered or I faced challenges with accepting who I was at first.
Right.
So I've learned to love myself and accept myself. And beauty is much more than, you know, just for plus size women. It's for everybody. But I feel like also I gotta represent for them as well, because, you know, it's hard out here.
We don't get a lot of credit.
You know, we get overlooked for a lot of things, and it's just like, it's like now, like, they seem to become,
More popular.
yeah, like kind of, but it's like to a certain extent though.
Right. Yeah.
I've been down from
It's like to a certain extent for sure, because I know if, like, when I was talking about how when I look on like commercials for like certain brands or on websites for like plus size women, they're starting to target plus size women, but it's one particular type of plus size woman.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's like they showing love, but you still gotta have some type of image.
Right, you know, sometimes, and you know, they still be looking at diverse. It's like, you know, we have like, don't knock them out at all. You know, you have the Caucasian, you know, plus size women, and then you have African American women, but they're light, so they're not too far off of what they already have. So it's not like, you know, you got someone like me or a little girl like me looking like, oh, look at her, she's, you know, bigger, she's shaped like me, but she doesn't really look like me. You know what I mean? So like, you have to be diverse when it comes to, okay, you can't just say, all right, put plus size model in there, we're good now, like, we're all good. No, everyone's going to feel some type of way, because I think there's one maybe website I go on, it's Mona FC, and she's like diverse. She was like Latino, like Asian, dark, like she has a variety of them, and it's like, that's what you want to see, because we all don't look like that, and all plus size women aren't shaped the same either.
No,
like, you know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm.
so it's like you have to be very diverse on how you pick your women. Like, okay, we have one who's pear shaped, one that's apple shaped, one like, you know, different shapes and things like that, because I can have a really small waist and big hips.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's not going to fit me in the way that's going to fit that plus size woman. You know what I mean? So it's just like you have to make sure like you have your options. You have a variety of women that you're going to select and consider plus size, because when you look at the smaller models, you see options sometimes.
Yeah,
so I can't say all the time. Sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just like
I only said that because I just feel like would it be? I just think that it's becoming like sexualized. Like,
it
it's
is.
becoming like it's just
It is.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is. It definitely is, and it makes me sad because it's not like when I was in high school, I was that friend in the group, of course, who got overlooked. I was like, oh, that's my homie type of person. You know, I had to be the therapist, you know, the shoulder to cry on, the love connector. I had to be everything. But so when it came to like me as an individual, it was always like, oh, you know, you gotta think I gotta, you know, try to. But that was it.
Right.
And it's like I'm much more than that, and of course, but like now it's still kind of like I love thick women. Like it's just about them because. And then it goes into the sex object or you know very sex appeal and everything. It's much more than that.
You want to be respected as an individual.
Exactly. So it's like because if I wasn't shaped like this, would you be attracted to me?
Yeah.
Now,
Exactly.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like it's a battle, a constant battle, no matter what. First we were overlooked, now we're looked at, but we're looked at for the wrong thing.
That's my point.
Because
so it's like, you know what I mean?
Talking about it and rapping about it.
You know, and you know,
now plus size models are on magazines and you know on the runway, and then like you said before, you couldn't even have a big butt. You know what I mean? If you had a big butt and hips, you're like, oh, we don't want you.
We don't want you.
You know, you had to be literally flat and like a board all over. But now, like, you know, thicker women, they want to say it's in style, but it's for the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
and it's like, we've been doing this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But so like you're paying a celebrity to look like me, and I've been doing like, you know, like I go with a lot of things, hairstyles, everything.
And then it's like thick women who are already thick, you know, that have been thick for years since they've been born. It's like, oh, it's like, is it fake? Or you know what I mean? It's like, oh, are those natural? It's like, we
I have to always defend myself.
Always
defend myself.
You and my best friend are shaped the same. The big hips, the small waist, and then she's always been like that in high school. And you know, they look at her now like, are those real? And she's like, I've been like this since high school. You know what I mean? Since middle school, rather. You know what I mean?
I started developing early in the, you know, early in the game, like 4th, 5th grade. You know, and then, you know, and back then they're like, why is she, like, you know, what's going on? But I've noticed that when I was in middle school, and it kind of hurt my heart a little bit. Some guy was like, we didn't think you were a virgin. I said, why? Because of where I'm built. He was like, I'm like, I don't even think about stuff like that. Like, I'm in middle school, like I'm in 7th grade, like stuff like that. Well, middle school for us back then, like guys kind of had cues, but we kind of liked them at the same time. But it's like, no, I wasn't even thinking about that. So it was like I had to always fight that image of who I was, who I wasn't. Like, you know, the people were like, oh yeah, we see her, she's this and that. We know she's not, and it's all like, no, you don't know me. You can't go off, like, you know, you can't judge a book by its cover.
Right. Absolutely.
So it's just like I feel like now it's something we have to always still defend in some way. Like we all have it always. So.
It's like it's a good thing and it's a bad thing.
It's a blessing and it's a blessing and a curse.
It's a blessing and a curse. These guys are a blessing and they're a curse.
Exactly. Like when you can't find anything to fit you, you're like, when they start rubbing together, you're like, you know what? It's too hot for this. So Kylie, you said you have, your book again coming out at the another book coming out.
Sure, I got the book with my father and I. We wrote a book together, and I have a children's book coming out.
So how was it meeting your biological father?
Oh, it was last. It's a long story. I'm not going to elaborate because you got to read the book.
Right.
But I met him last October, and it's been such a pleasure ever since. Like, he's cool. Like, my dad, I love him. Like, he is so, we're just alike. And he's younger. He's not young, but he's younger. So he's down. Like, we be hanging out. We was in Dallas cutting up. So, and it was crazy. And this is how good God is. I was trying to go to Houston for my first travel assignment, and they was like, no. And then I was talking to my dad about it, and he had lived somewhere else at the time, and he had just moved back to Dallas. And then my agency was like, oh, well, we got a contract in Dallas. Do you want to go there? And it was just so crazy because we ended up being in Dallas at the same time.
Wow,
So we, like, God put us together at that time for that reason, and we've been together for the last, like, 4 months.
That's
just
amazing.
hanging out. So we was in Dallas at the same time, and he's cool. Like, he's cool.
That's
Definitely
good.
blessed.
We got a real good
That's a
relationship. He's Nigerian. So
Okay.
my dad's Nigerian. My mom's just African American. So
Okay.
I'm real. I knew that. So I'm like real into that. Like I'm African.
Yeah,
that's just like my little cute side. So that's been real, just a blessing for me.
Now, has he ever been back home in Nigeria?
Yeah, he just went back in February, and we're supposed to go this year.
I was going to
So,
say,
yeah.
y'all planning on going to trip?
Yeah. So that's
fun.
part of like what's coming next to like I really want to. I'm not going to say I want to. I will be making a movie. I don't know the exact time. This is just like my book. Like I always used to be, and this is one thing I wanted to say. Like I used to look at people like, dang, I wish I could be an author, or dang, da da da, and then God gave it to me. So now I'll be like, dang, I wish I could make a movie. I wish I could make a documentary. And like, I just remember how the process happened with my book. And so I'm like, one day it's gonna happen.
It's
So
gonna happen.
Speak into existence.
yes,
I want
yes.
to I want to expound on that because I was actually on your blog and I like how you got like different topics and everything like that. And one of the things was prayer versus putting things out in the universe. Can you like elaborate on that a
Yes,
little bit?
because when you had asked her about the 10-year, I was like, dang, there's like a couple things I want to do for my 10-year, but I'll never say it because, so pretty much the blog that he's referring to, I was just talking about how people like throw stuff out there and they say stuff, especially with this age of social media, we say a lot of things. And that's fine, but you got to watch what you're putting out there because you're not putting it to the right person. I think in the blog I was referring to, you got to slide in God's DM, right? You can't be just like, oh, I wanna write a book, or oh, I want to do this. The enemy's around, and people don't realize like the demons, everybody, like that stuff's real, and they're hearing you too. So or even with relationships, you could be like, oh, I want this type of person. The enemy will give you that what you want, but it be from the enemy. You know what I mean? So what I do, there's things that I'll never talk about. Like I don't mind talking about the movie because people always say you should write a movie or you should make a movie. So I just throw that out there anyway. But there's things I will never talk about because it's between me and God. And when it happens, it's just going to happen. But it's important to protect your dreams because so many times, you throw stuff out there and people will present it to you in a way that looks nice, but it's pure, just not right, or even not right for the time being. So you got to protect everything that you want to do because you never know who's listening. And
that is
right.
I just thought that was amazing. Like how you broke that down in the blog. Like, that's true though, because it's like social media, you'll post something and people just be hating on it.
They'll hate, but then they'll pop up with it.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what I was about to say. Like, people don't always be happy for you. There be so many people that, like, just with this book and everything, I be like, what people, I'm the coolest person. Like, I don't shade nobody. If you ask me for help, if you ask me how to write a book or whatever, I'm going to tell you. But people, ever since all this stuff started happening, just be treating me like, oh, we're scared to ask Kylie, like, is she going to be shady or all this stuff? And I'm like, no, like, that's not him, but people's really not happy for you. And that's why you got to watch what you put out there because they're really not
I told
down
her,
for your
her, and
concept.
she, there are people like that. I asked her, and she definitely told me there are people. It's like a dog-eat-dog world. Like people act like I'm not coming for you.
Right.
Like help me. I'm sure we have two different things going on here, but like you can like walk me like. And I met someone who has a brand as well when I was in Clarion, and she, me and her are instantly connected. She was like, well, yeah, I use this and this, and I'm like, well, yeah, I use this, and we're like sharing our ideas when we came from and everything. She was like, try this site and try this or do this, and so we instantly connected and we started networking, and we were talking about like people are so like, just go what you want to go for, keep reaching, but they're gonna keep it brief and minimum, and it's like I'm not coming for you, I'm not trying to take your spot. We're on two different things here.
And what's so funny is what God had for you is for you. So nobody can take that from you, even if you do share it with them. So it's no point in trying to take somebody else down, or no point in trying to compare or be in competition with them. Because God gave you something too. I've known many people that write books. I know many people that write children's books. But what is mad is mad.
Absolutely. So, I think that's the biggest problem young African American women have. We always try to be in competition with each other instead of trying to help each other. And it's sad because all three of us are beautiful black women. You know, we're trying to do something with ourselves. Why am I in competition with you? Why am I in competition with you? There is no competition. And I see it as us trying to help each other, you know, about even with your line, J-Long, you know, that's a beautiful thing. You know, I want to support, and with your work, I want to support. And that's, you know, that's something I'm a supporter. I'm definitely not to be like, oh, J-Long, why are you doing a line? Like, who? And Kylie, you doing a book? Like, you know what I mean?
No one reads books.
You know what I mean? Like, why would I, you know, that's something that a lot of us, we need to start doing more.
People don't understand how powerful we can be. We all come together, and I think that's why I want to put together this brunch, because I want to show, you know, people have a dream. Like, you can't knock somebody's dream. Like, you have someone who want to start whatever, no matter how small it is, someone will do sunglasses or t-shirts or shoes, whatever. Don't knock anyone's hustle, because deep down in there feel like, wow, like, this is something I'm passionate about. So who are you to feel like, oh, that's dumb? You're not going to tell me that my dream is dumb. I'm going to work and I'm going to build it. But for you to try to knock me down, it's not cool. That just says something about yourself, your insecurities, your, you know, closed-mindedness, whatever the case may be. And that's so crazy. You talk about, like, your happiness you can't share with people, because today, you know how, like, Facebook does, like, the memory top, you know, thing. I had, like, a status I put on this day, and it said, you can't share your happiness with everyone because not everyone's going to be happy for you. And I was like, ain't that the truth? I should have reposted it.
You got people that put up subliminal status.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, throwing shade all the time, and it's like, for what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I try to support as much people as I can. Like, you know what I mean?
And you know what's crazy? It's always the ones that are closest to you.
Yeah.
Isn't that the irony of it all?
Oh my!
That you can't get the support from.
But you know what? You know what I realized, and now, see, I'm honest about my stuff, right? And long story short, there was somebody that I was jealous of. And see, this is where it come from. It's the root. All really this is about jealousy. So there was somebody I was jealous of, and it was so funny because the same thing that she was doing, number one, we cool now, like we hang out. And number two, I'm doing pretty much the same thing. And we both, when we bounce ideas off each other. So people just start being honest and like, you know, I'm not really mad at them. I'm just mad because I'm not doing it. If you just be honest to that, you don't got to confess it to your friends. You can confess it to God or confess it to who you got to confess it to. Get it off of you and then move on from there, because the same thing that God did for them, He can do for you.
Absolutely. That's the truth. So, but yeah, I don't know. I just seen kind of a small story. Not that, I mean, like, I don't really care anymore. Like, it's done with, it's over with. But like, I kind of somewhat fell out with a friend of mine, and you know, come to find out, some people can be jealous of you of the smallest things. Like, you used to think back in the day jealousy was because of looks, but now it can be some of the littlest things. And now, you know how you don't think about stuff until like after it happens. So you know, after me and her fell out, I was just thinking like, she wasn't really a friend to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, she wasn't really supportive of me. And when she was supportive of me, it sounded fake, you know what I mean? And it wasn't like, you know, she was really there for me or anything. So people were, I mean, I just felt like it wasn't sincere. So it wasn't like nothing like really big, but it was just like, you know, you weren't that real anyways to begin with, you know what I mean? And you wonder why God puts people in your life for a lesson or a blessing. Absolutely. And, you know, He put me... He put her in my life as a lesson. Like, look, everybody's not there for you. Everybody's not your friend. Everybody ain't your homie. You know what I mean?
Some people are there for a season.
So was she. So, you know what I mean? It was just, it made me really think a lot. And when me and my mom was talking today when we were out, she was just telling me, like, you know, it's her birthday today. And she was telling me, you know what, Jared, I'm thankful to be here another year. I'm not going to let nobody, you know, stress me out, make me unhappy, you know, even my friends or my family. And it really made me think, like, you know, I'm at that point too. You know what I mean? If it's not trying to make me better or happy, or you're not there to support me, I'll cut you off so fast. Before you can can't even blink. I promise you.
And
like it's
gotta be
really
like that.
nothing to me.
Right.
You know, like I can just quit talking to you like that. You know,
Right.
like it's.
And it's sad it has to get to that point sometimes because I know exactly what you mean. Like, you know, I've had my group of friends and everything like that growing up. And people say that's your best friend, but have they been the best of friend to you?
Absolutely.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I've looked like, you know, there's people that I've been friends with and, you know, I have such big dreams and a big mind, a creative mind. And so I'm like, yeah, they seem like they're supportive. They're supportive when it's beneficial to them.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes, like, there's a time frame where, you know, I was doing so many things, and I'm not going to say kind of envious because I would guess I was doing the things that they wanted to do.
Right.
You know, I was in school, I graduated at the time, I was in a great relationship, I had friends, I was involved with school and everything like that. And it seemed like they kind of faulted me for being or building the person I was trying to become. You know what I mean? So it's all like, yeah, everyone want to be your friend when you hype or you're popping or whatever, and it benefits them. But you know, when it's your time, like when you need a person for your downtime, no one's there to be around for you. So it's like you're definitely, you learn who your friends are, and I'm blessed. I can say I'm very blessed for the ones that I do have.
That's
like this moment,
absolutely.
because I have friends who literally, we support each other, we push each other, we motivate each other. Any ideas we have, we share them. Like we, you know, travel, whatever we try to do, like we make sure like they keep a road. No, that's not going to work. And we tell you why that's not going to work. It's not like everything like, yeah, that's dumb. You know what I mean? Like, but we push each other, we motivate each other, and everything that we're trying to do in life, we like, I don't know, we stick it out. Like, you know,
stick it out, right,
like everything, like it's just, it's hard to find genuine friends nowadays because it's all like, you should never feel like you're in competition within your own group of friends.
You shouldn't. You know,
Like, you know what I mean?
So then there's something wrong with you. You know, you need to, you need to reevaluate, you know, yourself.
Yeah, I'm your best friend when you need something.
When you need something. And I learned that I'm just like, you know,
You know, you learn.
some people, everybody's not real, you know, and that's at all ages, you know. But one more question before we go. What do you think, why do you think a lot of young black women or men in general, why do you think they don't get to be so successful as they want to be?
People not trying to put in the work, you know, and people not, they just being, I don't know, everybody just want it quick, and you got to take your time. And then another thing too, I think people that have done things before, they not helping other people. But I just think that, you know, you got to have your goals, and you have to, people think like writing goals and stuff is like a waste of time, and it really helps you keep you on track. And then another thing, you got to just get out there and just do it. Like I went to school, I went to college right out of high school. I went right back to get my master's 6 months later. Don't get mad at me because I'm just getting stuff done. And you gotta just bust stuff out. These dudes will be here, these women will be here. Just get your stuff done and over with soon. Like I'm 25. I'm like, on my 25th birthday, I was like, Dad, I feel like Benjamin Button. And I feel like I was all like just doing, because I was in school and working and now I'm like traveling, I'm living. Like it's like I'm going backwards. So you just gotta sit yourself down and get it done. Like there's no time to be, I'm hanging out, or I want to go do this, I want to go do that. Overnight success, like you gotta just do it the right way. Yes, and put God first.
There you go, that's right. Well,
let them know where they can find you.
Shout out
media,
Instagram, Twitter, all of that stuff, Facebook.
My Instagram is at Pretty Kylie, PrettyKylie. My website is where I blog every Sunday. I do a blog called #Happy Sunday. It's GodSetMeUp.com, and that's where you can also find my book. But if you're in the Pittsburgh area, I'll bring you a book. Like you can order it off of there, but I'll bring you one because I like meeting people. So you can just send me an email, KYLIE stores STORES @yahoo.com.
My Instagram is Tajana_Jane. That's TAJANA_JAE. You can also find a Buellity one on BEAULITY_reality. That's where like I just post anything about the brand. My Facebook is J1 Moses. I don't have a website as of right now because I'm just trying to, you know, get everything together. But my social media, you can definitely find me. Like Kylie said, I'm open to meeting new people, networking, you know, just, you know, even hearing people's stories because, you know, that's how a lot of people branch their, like, you know, build their products off of other stories and everything like that. So, come find me.
Well, I want to say thank you so much again for taking this hour out of your time, to come down. I would love to have you both back as a guest again when my show is up and running and back in the fall.
Yes, it will. It will be.
So it was a nice semester. It went by pretty fast. I know. I'm kind of sad. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you both for my co-hosts.
We should have bought you a cake. I
I wish you would have told me.
Because I kind of thought I was going to do one next week too, but I said it's finals. I'm like, I don't.
We'll celebrate. We'll go out and celebrate.
I know. So, but thank you very much again. I can't thank you all enough.
You're welcome anytime.
Yeah, so we'll see I'm glad you did. So we'll see everybody back in the fall semester. Have a good night.
Desperado, sitting in a old Monte Carlo, a man whose heart is hollow. Take it easy. I'm not trying to go against it. Actually, I'm going with you. Gotta get up out of here and you will leave me behind. I know you won't, 'cause we share common